So it is important for these companies to connect with the farmers, wherein it is profitable for the farmers as well as the company, and it can lead to creation of multiple inputs and revenue streams for the business. For example, if a company is connecting with, there is a company called Citrus India. You must have heard about it. It what it does is, in Telangana, Nalgonda district is very famous for citrus fruits. So in that district, they collect what do you call sweet lime, and then sweet lime, if you want to make juice and then sell it, it will become very bitter. You cannot keep it for even 2 hours, right? Not the orange, which is the sweeter orange colored ones, but then the what we call in Telugu as battai. I don't know what you call it, but then it becomes bitter. So what they are doing is they are connecting with the farmers and they are making tablets out of that juice. So they sell these citrus tablets to the juice making units. So here the farmers are benefited because of the collection, and then they get the inputs from the farmers, and in turn the industry is also, it is easy to use a tablet, right? Instead of taking so much of load from the farmers to the processing unit. Then we are talking about digitalization of agri value chains. Uh, though trying to connect the agri value chains, we need more efforts, creativity, strong alliances, and all. But then digitalization of agri value chains has its own challenges, like stakeholders, producers, merchants into a shared platform to interact and engage with each other gainfully, which they will, it is very difficult to bring them on the same platform. So I was going through a proceeding of a conference, and these people from Cropin and all these companies were Cropin is a supply chain company, wherein they were talking about, and then there was also E&M3, which is a custom hiring and then tractor company. They were talking about how this digitalization is not reaching the grassroots level. Though we are talking about so many apps and all, and then providing digital services, there is an impact, but then the impact is not to the extent that should be with so much of investments of the government, because of the manually the farmers have to, or the processors or traders have to fill in, it is difficult for them. So innovation, why we need to innovate? As you all know, innovation is successfully implementing a new idea and creating value for customers and stakeholders, right? So he was also talking about value, creating value for the customers. The value for each of the customer for a product would be different, right? So how do you normalize, or what do you call as bring on a particular platform the value of the consumers? Uh, and then how do you create value for them? So innovation starts with a new idea, improved product or service. It could be an improved product or service, it could be an updated method of running operations, it could also be a new business model. So it could be any of these forms. And then innovation in a particular form need not necessarily be novel, a new idea that they come up with, it could be implemented in another company which is adapted in this particular company. So companies that does not innovate is at the risk of becoming irrelevant, reducing its productivity, losing customers, and ultimately going out of business. So if you search in Google and say that which companies have failed because of not innovating, you will get a list of companies like Kodak, then Xerox, all these companies. But then you can you name any one agriculture company firm which has lagged, which has failed to innovate, and then it went out of business? Because of lack of innovation. Very less number survived, which means that 98% of them are closing down because of various reasons. In Telangana, the good example of this lack of innovation in the supply chain and then sticking to the same old method is of polymeras. Polymeras is a retail chain wherein their intention was to bring the produce from the farmers directly and sell it in these stores. But then these stores, which are of polymeras, are have good ambience. They have AC atmosphere, and then the vegetables are all graded. You need not go and choose. You can just put in the cover and then bring them. So initially it was started, and they have opened these stores in various locations in Hyderabad, which are prime locations. And then it has survived for 1 2 years. Then they were facing lot of losses, and they were unable to run this business, so they have sold it to somebody else who thought he can run it, but now they are unable to run it because of the losses in this business. So what do you think is the problem there in such kind of business model? I have given you two clues. They have opened in prime locations, right? And so cost of the infra, the building itself is, if you are, there is an area called Jubilee Hills, which is a prime area in, which is a rich area in Hyderabad, wherein the rents are so huge, and he has opened in something like Panjagutta, Jubilee Hills, then DD Colony, and all these. Not really support those kind of rents, and then the people who are, at least in each polymera you can find around 7 to 8 people grading those vegetables and then sorting them out, putting them on the shelves. All this is a cost which they have not taken into consideration, right? So vegetable business will have lot of uh, wastage. So, and then this grading itself will, you have to take out lot of material from whatever you bought from the farmers, and then bringing it from the farmers, transportation is a cost. And then when you go to the village, you will not get consistent supply. Someday the farmer will say, I will give it to you. Someday the farmer will say, I will give it in the market. So they, another firm related to this business, what they have done is that they have come into this business with the same kind of infrastructure and all, but realizing that this is with vegetables and fruits, it is not going to work. They have included dairy, they have included grains, organic millets, honey, all those products into that particular store, and ready-made snacks made with organic produce, millets and all. That way, little sustainability can be bought. But then this company failed to look at what is happening or what is the problem and try to innovate. So innovations can transform existing business model to adapt to changing environment or satisfy existing but unanswered market. Means there are so many products which are coming into the market to satisfy the unanswered. There is a need in the market, but it has not been noticed. But then companies are trying to answer these market needs, bringing new technologies, products or services to the market, and create entirely new markets also, right? During COVID, earlier when honey was used in our homes, it was only for, mostly for puja purpose, right? Only little amount of honey. Nobody used to buy liters and liters of honey. But during COVID, that propaganda that eating honey or consuming honey will increase your immunity and it is healthy food has gained popularity. So what did the company do then, like Dabur? It came with innovative ways of using honey, like you use it in tea now, you use it in a dessert now, or you give it to your child spoonful every morning, or you put it on roti and eat, right? So many innovative methods of using the same product, which earlier it was there, but we are not using it, right? So they have created a new market segments, new kind of customers who want this particular product. Now you see bottles of honey is being sold, right? Thanks to COVID, the beneficiaries are companies who are selling honey, right? So that is the way we can also bring in new markets, create entirely new markets, or react to market disruptions. Then, when we talk about types of innovations, it could be an incremental, expansive innovation. So, the innovation that goes on slowly from one step to this other step, like suppose we are changing the texture of a particular product by experimenting and then by talking with the customers, then it is an incremental innovation. It could be an expansive one, wherein innovations usually related to science and technology. For example, somebody is bringing about a product for old people. From the set of products they have, they want to make something for the old people from the same product line. Then it is an expansive innovation. And it could be disruptive innovation, like what we are talking about, for example, lab meat. It is a disruptive innovation which will take years to build it up and then to gain the customer acceptance, right? So next Sunday, if your hostel serves you this artificial or lab meat instead of your chicken, how many of you are going to eat? Difficult for acceptance, right? But then it requires time to push it into the market and then make it available. Then possibilities of innovations, they could be technological, social innovations, product innovations, process innovations, marketing and organizational. Your self-help groups is a best example of social innovations, wherein it is a very good success story in India. Then, what are the institutional innovations that can build sustain supply chains? We have seen FPOs, and then they have operated companies and can help farmers buy and sell more effectively. And they work on the principles of cooperation and corporate entity. As you all know, that they can be registered as Section 8 companies or private companies. And then globalized, liberalized market environment, they want to bring in the culture of commercialization and corporate culture into the cooperatives. And but then there are specific constraints which a farmers face, which can be addressed by these institutional innovations like FPCs, like transaction costs, lack of market integration, and then interlocking of factor and output markets. As all of us know that in rural, when the farmer grows his crop, he will go and take money from the money lender, and then as he harvests, he has to pay back. So there is an interlocking of inputs and then output markets, which creates a lot of problems for the farmers. And then these institutions can help reduce transaction costs, managing reduced risks. Building social capital is an important aspect. Then collective action and readdressing missing markets, where when we are talking about missing markets, it is like there is no perfect competition in the market. There is a monopoly among the buyers or traders there, and then farmer is supposed to give at whatever rate is asked by the traders. So if FPCs interfere with more of aggregation, they will be able to negotiate better. And then aimed at connecting farmers to corporates and rapidly increasing landscape of retailing, we see many FPOs in Telangana, especially in the area of millets. There is Deccan Development Society, which encourages farmers to grow millets, and then it connects with many of the retailers, big retailers, supermarkets in Hyderabad. And joint ventures and subsidies are allowed under this act. And then these FPCs can also run supermarkets to sell their products. You must have heard about Sufal Bangla. Sufal Bangla is a program of government of West Bengal, wherein this program was launched to support farmers with their credit inputs, then markets. So over a period of time, they have also bought in veterinary, that is dairy, and then livestock into it. Similarly, forest products into it, then crafts and all. And they felt that this could be in the form of a retail chains also can be established so that these products can reach the customers. It is an interactive marketing platform where every day the prices would be released and the customer can decide whether he wants to go and buy there or not. And then this is run by an FPO, and then seeing the success of it, and then these FPO which is running it, it is there in area of Shantiniketan. And then they have also, what they have done is they have made arrangements of selling with airlines, then big restaurants and all, so that there is always a flow of the product from there in and farmers will never suffer. At the same time, there is transparency in the prices, so customers also get at good prices. Then value addition should be the prime focus of FPOs. But in one of the theses in our MBA, which was done, they were studying about FPOs in Chile, in Guntur district. And then it is noticed that these FPOs are not involved in any kind of a value addition. Very, very maybe not even 1% of them are involved. They are only into supply of inputs like seed, fertilizer, and all. And that's all. And they are not into aggregation of produce also, except for one or two. So these FPOs are, though they have created with the intention of value addition and providing marketing services, they are doing more of easy job of supplying the inputs. So there was one training program for CEOs of FPOs. A organization called Samunnati was arranged that, and then around 20 CEOs were there of FPOs. So as soon as we enter to give some lecture, it was on some value chain aspects. So the first question they ask you, it is very difficult to manage those people actually. They asked me was, when are we getting our salaries? Right. So first give us the salaries, then we then talk about what are the activities of FPOs. So they are only doing some things like supply of inputs and all, and then they have some arrangement with the dealer. These farmers will go and take it from that dealer. That is the work that is done by most of the FPOs. Then it should have been an asset light business with a high asset turnover, giving tractors, machinery, and all on rent to the farmers. Then franchising is also gaining importance as an institutional innovation in supply chain. So franchise is a type of license that grants a franchisee access to the franchise's proprietary business knowledge, process, and trademarks, thus allowing franchise to sell a product or service. So you must be knowing that McDonald's works on a franchise basis, right? Does it? Or it is ownership model? It works on McDonald's gives its rights of franchises to two firms, one in the north and one in the south. And then these firms in turn give it to all these retail outlets, right? So they can use the name of McDonald's, they can use the technology of McDonald's and gain from that. And franchisor also gains because of the startup fee and annual licensing fee. So in agriculture, you must have heard about DHAT. It is a Green Agri Revolution Private Limited. It is a startup which facilitates better in giving better inputs than knowledge and then marketing facilities to the farmers, mostly concentrating on the technological aspects. And then it works on the franchise basis, wherein these franchises that these DHAT has are not outlets. They see that somebody in the village who has 3 4 rooms of house, they ask him to spare one room and then start this rehab business there, so that the cost of rent, the cost of moving from one place to the other place is not there. So it is a low investment wherein the costs are less, and then both the franchisor and the franchisee will gain. At the same time, the farmers will also get benefited because of this. Then low fixed cost is the benefit for the franchisee. And then high reachability, as we have seen, they will cater to villages in Dihat. Then less manpower requirement. Already technologies have been developed, or the way the business should be done is developed, so they require only for implementation. Then lower risk is there for the franchisee, and then focus on the franchisor, whoever is giving the franchisor can focus on research and development. That is the reason why we see a new product of McDonald's released every 2 months or 3 months, right? When the next time you go, probably you will find some kind of other burger. Then there is public private partnership as an institution. Uh, Wherein, because public attachment is there with the private partnership, it will have high reach. Government organizations usually are located in the nook and corner of the state. For example, if PJTSAU has research institutions across Telangana or KVKs or colleges, so they would be able to reach a large section of people. And then having a partnership with a private will also give some kind of an authentication to the buyer, right? You must have seen that Bangalore University brands its mangoes on the name of the university and sells it. Similarly, PJTSAU sells cold pressed oil of coconut and sesame on its, it is called gold something, and then it is, the brand is by PJTSAU, so it gives us kind of authentication. It is not run by PJTSAU, but it is a partnership. And risk sharing would be there, more efficiency could be there in time delivery and completion, and transparency in identification of beneficiaries. One of the project that PJTSAU has done in this public private partnership in supply chains is in the supply chain of seed, where it has partnered with a company called TraceX, and then it has built up a blockchain technology for tracing which farmer is, from the farmer, how the seed is coming to the companies. So with the scan, a farmer would be able to know when he's sowing the seed where this seed has originated. So it was done on a pilot mode. Now TraceX is taking it forward, and then they want to do it on a commercial scale. Then, for example, in public-private partnership in PepsiCo India, you must be knowing that PepsiCo requires potatoes for its chips, right? So it has a partnership with Punjab Agriculture University for developing the varieties of potatoes that are required. They must be requiring low sugar level, size should be so much, and then they should not turn black when they are fried. So many conditions would be there for those chips. So all this can be done in collaboration with the, so your tripartite would mean three parties, wherein it is PepsiCo, then it is government as well as the farmers. Then private partnership can also be a form of partnership, where usually there would be a large firms supporting small players. Usually the firm which is supporting small players is called as the lead firm, and you have the small players who are there to collaborate or supply to the large firms. So when they are doing this, they can go in for it. The involvement of government will also be there in terms of capacity building of the small scale units. So it could be bottom of, usually these projects are supported by World Bank and all these people. And then it could be a bottom up approach or a top down approach. A bottom up approach would mean that they see what is the requirement of the large firm in terms of quantity, quality, what are the parameters they require of the produce, and develop the capacities of the MSCs to suit the needs of the that particular firm. Or it could be a other way, wherein the capacities of SMSC, the small units are developed, and they will try to cater or connect them to the large firms which are in need of that particular product. For example, if you see Maza, right? Maza is made up of mango pulp, as we all know. So how does which company manufactures Maza? Hmm? You have Maza Fruity. So Maza is done by which company? What it does, take all the it doesn't take all the mangoes and then make it into pulp and then make it into maza, right? It takes the pulp from the small manufacturers. So it is supporting them, and then it tells them what quality is required, what is the process that needs to be adapted, and then they will take it from them. What is happening here? These small scale units are located nearer to the producing areas. So the cost will decrease for the company, and then it is a assured market for the small scale units. So that kind of partnerships are also possible, which are there and working, and especially in coffee and cocoa also in South African countries, they have this kind of a mechanism wherein if Switzerland wants some kind of a cocoa, a particular quality, then they will tell these companies, small companies in the growing areas, that this quality I want, and then procure it from them instead of they taking the raw material to their country. So wider reach, efficiency in operations, cost reduction, managerial efficiency and expertise of the large company are utilized by the small players. These are all the advantages. Then we are also talking about community supported agri businesses or agriculture, wherein the uh, community, consumers and farmers are connected, and consumer pays a share of the farm expenses. In return, the farmer supplies a part of the produce in the firm. So this is mostly happens through social media, website, emails are used to promote community supported agribusiness. So near our university, there is a gated community called as Kenworth, a Tata venture. Okay, so what they do, there is a group of people who will get connected with the farmers. They bear the expenses, whatever the crop costs are there. They will have an arrangement with the farmer that this amount of expenses I am going to bear, and then in turn you give me so many bags of rice or so many kgs of vegetable or so on, according to the produce, or tur dal or something. They mostly have arrangement for dals and rice. And one organization called Prachina Organic supplies them with vegetables also. So that is community supported agri business, which can also be a sustainable form of agribusiness. Few examples. You must have heard of eFresh Agribusiness Solutions Private Limited. eFresh operates in various areas, especially it is into the business of supporting FPOs to become more vibrant, and then to be more market ready. So they supply inputs, and then they give professional advice, and they also advise them in marketing these products and see that those products are marketed. Then Superzo Retrans Info Labs Private Limited. It is a company which works on uh, supplying it to the retailers. Right? They don't directly supply it to the customers. It supplies to the retailers. It especially works in the area of cereals and pulses, wherein they procure directly from the farmers without any intermediaries involved. They will supply to the retailers. So retailers are assured of quality. The prices are little lower than what they get in the normal market, and then farmers are also assured of certain price by this super shop. Then we have Kalgudi Digital. It is not doing very well now, but this is also into connecting the farmers to the markets as well as providing expertise in terms of technology. And Kalgudi also has a crafts page wherein the rural crafts are also sold in online, right? They encourage rural crafts. Then with regard to Root Goods Private Limited, why I have put this is it is a specialized firm wherein it tries to bring in only certain goods. The supply chain companies need not concentrate on all the products. So root goods will only concentrate on something like moringa leaves or a particular kind of a millet, right? So they don't do business in everything. They specialize in certain, especially these which have certain medicinal value or health benefits. They concentrate on that and then supply directly to the consumers. Then farm to fridge is also again another company which is into vegetables and fruits. It gathers from the farmers and then it supplies to the consumers. But then, if in reality, if you see whatever the projects and then whatever the interactions we have in our Agri Hub, it is seen that all these companies which promise that we get directly from the farmers, if they directly get from the farmers, it will not be viable for them. So they will go to Gudimalkapur market or some market, buy from there, and then tell that we got it directly from the farmers, right? So because that will not be viable for them to go and then do it, because vegetable is a low margin business. Unless you sell in volumes and volumes, it is not possible. Reliance is able to bear in its smart points because it is Reliance. You have the backup of Ambani there. Even if you go into losses, nobody is really bothered. So if you see, and in the evening at around 8 o'clock, you go to a Reliance store and observe it sometime when you have time, you will see that such huge bags, black bags of vegetables are put in the waste trucks, which carry them to. Earlier, what they used to do is that they used to keep it like that outside the store. So whoever wants to pick them up used to pick them up. Now the company has changed the policy and said you have to throw them, you cannot sell them because of the regulations of the government. You cannot really sell the substandard or about to spoil products, right? And so they are now throwing it directly in the wastage. The same thing cannot be done by a normal polymeras or some retail store which is into the business of vegetables. So this farm to fridge concept, though they are saying it is directly, it is not directly. And there is another firm which is called as Crop Corporation of India. They have an app called One Basket. Okay, like big basket, they have one basket. So what they do is they say that they sell organic fruits and millets, cereals, and all these things. So they want to have a connection on a B2B mode also with some retailers. So our students have done project there. So these students were sent early in the morning to one huge market in Hyderabad to pick up mangoes during mango season, bring them, polish them properly, and then clean them, put it in nice packages, write organic, and then sell it double the price or triple the price. And we buy it feeling that it is organic. Right? So whenever you are buying organic, think twice. Don't pay so much of price for it. Right? Okay, that's all. Thank you.